Hi, I'm Crystal Rose Hines. I'm here to teach you a vinyasa flow today. This vinyasa flow will be approximately 50 minutes and we'll get started on our backs. So quickly just find your way to your comfortable laying down position. You can extend the feet out long. Extend your hands down by your side. Take a moment here in your Shavasana shape. Just to truly ground, connecting to the earth below you, just taking the first few minutes of class to just connect. How do you feel today? How's your breath? How are you emotionally? How do you feel physically? Allowing these thoughts to pop up, but allowing them to drift away just as quickly. Noticing and then letting go. Take one more deep inhale here. Exhale, let it all out. Begin to bring your hands to your heart and to your belly. Take a moment here to set an intention for your class, a word or a phrase you'd like to embody or invite in. Something positive and beautiful. Take a deep inhale here. And let go of anything that doesn't serve you as you exhale it all out. Begin to bring the soles of the feet to the earth. Take a moment here. You'll bring that left ankle over that right thigh, coming into this figure 4 shape. Taking a moment here, we're going to bring our hands behind our head. We'll interlace the fingertips, and then we'll press our head into our palms, and then we're allowing our elbows to be out wide. Pressing the navel into the spine, pressing the lower back into the earth. We'll find some oblique crunches here, bringing that right elbow to the left knee. And you're maybe even using this left shoulder to press yourself up and then relax down. We'll flow like this with breath. So every exhale, you extend up. Inhale, so you let go. Exhale up. Inhale down. A few more like this. Exhales bring you up. Inhale, release. Exhaling and inhaling. 5 more like that. Exhale and inhale. 4, 3, 2, and last one, hold up here. Allow that right shoulder to stay hovering. Breathe here. Maybe you find some pulses for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release down. From here, we're going to find a one-legged bridge, so you can sweep your hands down by your side. Maybe you grab the edges of the mat. Maybe you press your palms into the earth. Roll your shoulder blades underneath your back body. You're pressing into your heel. Your heel is directly underneath your knee, and then you'll press up into this bridge. Maybe you interlace the fingertips underneath the back body. It's early, so you don't have to go super deep. You don't have to. You're even welcome to bring a block underneath the sacrum if that's something you want to practice today, a little bit more restorative. Holding here for another few moments, pressing the hips a little bit higher. Can you begin to pulse up and down just a couple of inches? Really activating the glute muscles and breathing into the back body. And then you'll just begin to release down, release the hands, bring the hips down to the earth. From here, you're interlacing the hands behind that thigh, and you'll hug the knees into the chest. From here, you use your left knee or your left elbow to press your left knee away very gently. You don't want to force anything. And then you'll hug your thighs into your chest. You can stay here. I also like to extend that right leg up, creating a little bit of weight on my left ankle, which allows me to pull on my thigh a little bit less and use the force of gravity instead. Taking a moment here to connect to that left outer hip here. Breathing deeply. You can rebend that knee. And then we're going to shift this entire shape over to the right. So we're just going to bring the sole of the left foot down to the earth. If this is too much already, you're welcome to just stack this top hip. But here, this way, you get into the outer hip. Maybe very gently press that thigh away. You can gaze opposite of the knees, breathing into the outer hip as well as the lower back here. connecting. And then slowly begin to make your way back through center. You'll undo the legs, you'll give yourself a nice big hug, and then maybe you rock side to side. We're going to take that entire thing over to the next side. So we'll bring the soles of the feet down to the earth. We'll bring that right ankle over the left thigh. We'll press that thigh away gently. Then from here, we're going to interlace the fingers behind the head. Pressing our head into our hands, protecting our neck here, and then also pressing our belly into our spine, allowing the low back to really press into the earth. From here, the left elbow is going to come to that right knee, so you might need to use that right shoulder to kind of press yourself up. You don't have to go super high. And then we'll continue like this with our breath. So exhales, you come up. Inhales, you release. Exhaling and inhaling. Exhale and inhale. Just about 5 more here, connecting to this feeling the sensation of the obliques and the abdomen beginning to activate here. 3, 2, last one. We'll hold up here. Maybe you find little micro pulses, bringing that left knee a little bit closer and back from that right knee. 2 and 1, release back. From here, you're bringing your hands down by your side, left heel underneath the left knee, and then you'll rock your elbow or your shoulder blades underneath your back body. And then you'll either grab the edges or press into your palms and then lift the hips up. Staying here, maybe interlacing the fingertips underneath the back body. Taking a moment here. And then from here, we'll find some pulses if you'd like to join. So just going up and down, just a few inches, warming up the glutes and the hamstring. For 3, for 2, for 1, begin to release the hands, release the hips down, and then interlace the fingertips behind that left thigh. Using the right elbow to gently press away that right knee. Breathing here. Keeping that right foot flexed, right? Protecting that right knee. You can stay here. Maybe you extend that left leg up towards the sky, creating a little bit more weight. Getting into that right hip a little bit more. From here, you'll rebend that left knee, and then we'll shift this entire shape over to the left, bringing the sole of the foot down to the earth and then gazing opposite of the knees. And of course, you're welcome to just find a simple supine twist if this is too much twisting too early. Breathing deeply. Inhaling and exhaling. And then slowly you'll make your way back through center. You'll undo the legs. You'll hug the knees into the chest, rock side to side. And then we'll find a happy baby, letting our knees fall open. We'll grab the outer edges of the knees, or maybe we grab the outer edges of the feet. You're welcome to stay here. Maybe you kind of rock side to side. Just connecting. Extending the left leg long maybe, and then the right. Just kind of being a little bit playful, exploring the body, getting to know how you feel today. And then from here, you'll bring your knees back into your chest. You'll rock up and down the spine. And then we're going to meet in a tabletop. So however you'd like to get there, maybe you roll over the ankles. Scoot yourself back into the middle of your mat. And then we'll find some cat-cows here. So stacking the shoulders over the wrist, hips over the knees. You'll drop the belly, you'll open the heart, you'll lift the gaze. And then as you exhale, you'll press the earth away, rounding the spine, dropping the head, dropping the tailbone. Inhales, you rock forward, opening that heart space. And then exhales as you round. A few more like this, or maybe you begin to move intuitively. You can continue with your cat-cows, or you can find your kidney squeezes. To your body, just kind of tune into what you feel today. What do you need? Maybe you come in and out of child's pose. Taking the next 2 breaths to just kind of find that movement, and then we'll all meet back through our tabletop. Coming back into our tabletop, we'll tuck the toes and we'll lift the knees just a tiny bit off of the earth here. Just floating our tabletop here. The gaze is somewhere on the floor in front of you, nothing going on at the knees. Pressing the hands down towards the feet and the feet down towards the hand, isometrically creating all of this heating energy in our body. Take one more deep inhale, and then exhale, drop the knees. Inhale, drop the belly, open the heart, lift the gaze, and then exhale as you round. From here, you'll extend the hands out just like a handprint in front, coming into your plank. So you'll extend the legs back behind you, pressing through the heels, shoulders over wrist. Take a moment here, feel all of the energy pulling into your midline. And then as you exhale, send the hips up and back. First downward dog, so you're welcome to bend into one knee and then the other, just working it out. Pedaling out the legs. Noticing how this first down dog feels. Maybe staying in any lingering places that need to be lingered in, right? Those tension areas. Maybe your right leg is a little bit tighter than your left or vice versa. Our bodies are different every day and our sides are different. So just notice the difference. Not judging or not pushing yourself to look a certain way. Just noticing how it feels and how it looks today. From here, we'll begin to round the spine, coming forward into our plank, shoulders over our wrist. From here, we're going to spin onto our right hand. The left hand will reach up. So you have a few options here. You can stay like this. You're on the outer edge of the right foot, the inner edge of the left, or you can bring that right knee down to the earth as this kind of modified plank pose. Whichever space that you're in, we'll reach up through that left arm, and then as we exhale, we'll bring it underneath as if we're threading the needle underneath our right hand and our right foot. And then inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, thread. Inhale, lengthen up. Threading it down. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, threading. Inhale, lengthening. You've got this, just a few more. We're doing 8 on each side. Inhaling up. Exhale, thread. Feeling the obliques begin to activate. We have one more here. Thread the hand underneath. Inhale, lengthen it up. And then from here, we'll all bring our right knee down to the earth. Our toes might need to go out a little bit, depending on how you feel today. It can stay close to the mat, or maybe it comes off, and then you'll lift the left leg off of the earth, coming into this half moon shape. Shoulders are stacked on top of one another. This left heel is pressing behind you, flexing the toes towards the face, and you're lifting this foot in line with the hip. Breathe here. Take another moment. And then gently press that foot back down. You can stay here. Maybe you join us finding this fallen triangle. So we're just going to lift the right knee off of the earth and then send it out in front of us. Pressing the hips up. Breathing deeply. We're coming back to this shape quite frequently throughout class. So just begin to get a feel for it. Top hand will come down. The knee will come into your chest. You'll bring it down. You'll bring the left knee down. Find some cat-cows here to even out here. So drop the belly, open the heart, lift the gaze, and then exhale. So you round the spine, dropping the head, dropping the tailbone. Coming back through neutral. I'm going to switch sides. You stay where you are. From this tabletop, we're going to tuck the toes. We're going to lift the knees off of the earth and just take a moment here, building all that heat. Gaze is somewhere on the floor in front of you. Breathe deeply. Feeling the sensation begin to rise. Begin to drop the knees gently. Drop the belly, lift the gaze. And then exhales as you round. And then coming back to that plank pose. Extending the arms out in front of you. Coming onto the balls of the feet. Breathing deeply. You'll send the hips up and back. Taking a deep inhale and a deep exhale. Maybe now finding a little bit of stillness in this down dog, truly setting up. Feet are about hips distance. Your hands are shoulder width. All 10 fingers are pressing into the earth, and then you're sending your hips up and back. Imagine someone pulling you at the hip creases, back and up. Your head is neutral here. The inner lines of the arms are facing forward, so you're trying to shift the elbow creases, the insides of the elbows, towards the front of the mat. From here, you'll shift back forward into your plank. And then we're coming onto that left hand, so outer edge of left foot, right foot, inner edge. And then extend that arm up towards the sky. Again, you can stay like this, or you can bring that left knee down. You know where we're going here, so you're welcome to take both, or either or. Reach that arm up, and then as you exhale, thread it underneath. Right arm comes underneath you, and then inhale, lengthen it up. Exhale, crunch it under. Inhale, lengthen back. Exhaling and inhaling. You've got this. Exhale and inhale. You have 3 more here. Exhaling and inhaling. 2. Inhale. Last one, thread it under. Reach that arm up overhead. And then we'll all bring that left knee down. And then you can set up your toes however you'd like. And then you can lift that right leg up. Coming into this kneeling half moon. Pressing through that heel. Toes are flexed towards the face. You're reaching. Find that non-moving focal point. Breathe deep. You've got this. And then you'll bring that right foot down. And then we'll find that fallen triangle, picking that left knee off of the earth, sending the leg out. Fallen triangle here, you want to lift your hips up. Breathe deeply. And then reach up. And then windmill that arm down to the earth, the knee into the chest. And then bring that knee down, bring both knees down. And then sit back into your child's pose. Sweep the arms back behind you, drop your head. Taking just a moment here to recalibrate, to reconnect to your breath. From here, you'll extend your arms out in front of you. You'll press up to your downward facing dog. And then you'll step your feet to your hands. Finding a fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Roll your shoulders onto your back body. And then exhale, surrender down. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, release. Inhale, root to rise. Your arms will sweep up overhead. Your hands will touch. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, find your fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into your plank. You can add a vinyasa here. Maybe you need to come down to your knees. Maybe you don't. You'll shift your shoulders forward. You'll bend the elbows halfway. Untuck the toes, straighten the arms. Upward facing dog. From here, you'll roll over the toes as you pike the hips up and back, downward facing. We'll go through 1 Sun A here, so take a deep inhale and a deep exhale. Inhaling to prepare, bend the knees. As you exhale, hop or step to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms sweep up overhead, your hands will touch. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, find your fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step or jump back, adding a vinyasa here. We got a little friendly guy joining us in. Upward facing dog, and then downward facing dog as you send the hips up and back. Beautiful work here. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale, right leg will sweep back behind you. As you exhale, you'll round forward, knee to nose. And then inhale, lengthen it back. Exhale, knee to nose, rounding forward, and then inhale, lengthen it back. Last one, knee to nose. Hold here for just a moment. And then press the foot in between the hands. And then we're going to come up to our low lunge. So bring that left knee down. Reach the arms up overhead. And then hold here. If you want a little bit more fire, you're welcome to tuck the back toes and come into your crescent lunge. So you're lifting the knee up. Choosing your adventure. Wherever you are, you're bringing the navel into the spine. Even though you're reaching up, you're relaxing the shoulders away from the earth. And you're squaring the hips. So the left hip is pressing forward, the right hip is pressing back. One more deep inhale here. Deep exhale. The left hand will come down inside the right foot. The right hand will reach up You'll tuck your toes if you're not in crescent, coming into this simple twist here. You're on the ball of the left foot, and then you're sending this right hip back, and you're breathing as you stack the top shoulder over the bottom shoulder. From here, you'll come down and frame the front foot. You'll hug the knee into the chest, and then you'll send this foot over to the left, finding that fallen triangle. So right foot comes out to the left, left hand reaches up. Breathing here. Lifting the hips up. The top hand will come down to frame the front foot. You'll bring that knee into your chest. You'll send it back, three-legged dog. You'll bend the knee, you'll open the hip. Breathe deep. From here, you'll re-extend that right leg up, squaring the hips. And then you'll bring that right foot to the outside of the right hand, coming into your active lizard lunge here. Maybe your hands need to come to blocks. And then press your heart forward, breathing into your hips. We're going to find a little bit of movement here. So as we exhale, we're going to straighten the front leg, finding this extended pyramid pose, dropping the head, rounding the spine. And as we inhale, we'll rock forward into our active lizard, pressing our heart forward, maybe even dipping our left hip down a little bit. Exhale, straighten. Moving slowly with breath, inhale forward. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, rock forward. Last one here. And then you can drop that knee down to the earth. And then inhale, sweep that right arm up and back. Just warming up the shoulders here. As if you're kind of swimming. Swim that top arm up and over, back to the inside of that right foot. And then inhale, open it back up. Finding a little bit of twisting here. And then sweep it back down. One last time like that. Sweep that right arm forward, up, and back. And then sweep it back down. Plant the hands back onto the earth. Tuck your left toes if they're not, and press back into your plank. From here, you're welcome to add a vinyasa, shifting the shoulders forward, bending the elbows halfway, untucking the toes, straightening the arms, upward facing, and then downward facing as you send the hips up and back. Going straight to the other side here, we'll lift that left leg back behind us. We'll bend the knee, open the hip. Take a moment here. Re-lengthen it out, squaring the hip, and then exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, back. Last one, knee to nose. Hold here, rounding the spine, trying to bring that knee closer into your chest. And then step the foot between the hands, coming up to your low lunge or your crescent lunge. Inhaling the arms up. Reaching the arms up here, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears, pulling the navel into the spine. Pressing the hip a little bit forward. Breathe here. You've got this. And then the the right hand will sweep down to the earth. The left hand will stay up. And then you'll come onto the ball of the right foot, finding the simple twist. Trying to stack the top shoulder over the bottom. Pressing your heart towards that knee, opening it up towards that knee, is what I mean. Pressing through the right heel. And then bring that top hand back down to the earth. Bring the knee into the chest. And then send the foot over to the right. Left hand will reach up, finding the fallen triangle on this side. Breathing deeply, sending the hips up. You've got this. Top hand can come down to the earth. The knee comes into your chest. Bend the knee, open the hip. Three-legged dog. Lengthen the leg, close the hip. Bring that left foot to the outside of the left hand. And then we're coming into this active lizard lunge. So maybe your hands are on blocks. Keeping that knee in towards that left tricep. Pressing through the right heel. The heart is pressing a little bit forward. As you exhale, you'll straighten the leg and round the spine. And then as you inhale, you'll rock forward. Moving with breath here, we've got this, right? Exhales, you round, you're getting into that left hamstring, you're connecting to it, you're feeling the sensation. And as you inhale, you're rocking forward, feeling that right hip flexor. Exhales as you round. Inhales, you rock forward. Exhaling, extended pyramid. Inhaling forward. Extended pyramid. And then rocking back forward, holding here for just a moment. And then bringing that right knee down to the earth. Sweeping that left hand forward, up and back. And then swinging it back through center. Inhaling that arm up, over and back. Inhaling through center. Last one, sweep it back. Come back through center. Place the hands back onto the earth, tuck the right toes if they're not. Press back into your plank. Adding a vinyasa here or skipping it. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Taking your time through your vinyasa if you're doing so. Sending those hips up and back as we all meet here in our downward facing dog. From here, we'll walk our feet to our hands, finding a fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Arms sweep up overhead. Your hands will touch. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Inhale, sweep up. And exhale, find your fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step or jump back, adding a vinyasa here if you choose. Chaturanga as you exhale. Upward facing as you inhale. And then downward facing as you pike the hips up and back. Remembering you can always meet in down dog or add a child's pose in. Breathe in. Breathe out. Right leg will sweep back behind you. As you exhale, you'll bring the knee into the nose, rounding forward. Inhale, lengthen back. Exhale, plant the foot between the hands. Inhale up into your crescent lunge. Sweep the arms up towards the sky. Pressing through that left heel, squaring the hip, reaching, shoulders relaxed. Take a deep inhale, reach a little bit higher. As you exhale, the left hand will plant inside the right foot, the right hand will reach up. Finding the simple twist. Top hand will come back down to the earth. We're flowing the same flow here, so bring that knee into the chest. Maybe you can find the beauty in it. Bring that right foot out to the left. Left hand reaches up. Maybe you even lift this right knee up, that right foot up. Maybe you don't. Bring that top hand down to the earth. Bring the knee into the chest. Send it back. Bend the knee, open the hip. Bring the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Active lizard lunge. One more pyramid pose, straighten the front leg, round over, connecting to that right hamstring. Inhale, rock forward. Drop that back knee down to the earth. Inhale, sweep that right arm back behind you. Exhale, sweep it back down. Inhale that right leg to meet the left. Take a deep inhale here. And a deep exhale. Adding a vinyasa or meeting in downward facing dog. If you're chaturangaing on the exhale, bending the elbows, keeping the elbows close to the low ribs. Flip over the toes, straighten the arms, upward facing, and then downward facing as you send the hips up and back. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale, left leg will sweep back behind you. Exhale, knee to nose, round forward. Inhale, sweep it back. Plant the foot between the hands. Crescent lunge, coming all the way up here. You're on the ball of the back foot. You're pressing that heel back behind you. You're squaring the hips. Arms are reaching up. Bending into that front knee. And then the right hand will sweep down onto the earth. The left hand will reach up. Take a moment here in the simple twist. Top hand comes down to frame the front foot. Knee into the chest, send the foot out to the right, left hand reaches up. Breathe here. Top hand comes down, knee into the chest, send that foot up and back. Three-legged dog, bend the knee, open the hip. Bring that left foot to the outside of the left hand. Press the heart forward. As you exhale, straighten the front leg, rounding over into your pyramid pose. Inhale, rock forward. Drop that knee down. Inhale, sweep the left arm back behind you. Exhale, bring it back through center. Inhale that left leg back behind you. Take a moment here in your plank. And then maybe you shift forward. As you exhale, you bend the elbows halfway. Untuck the toes. Straighten the arms, upward facing. And then downward facing as you send the hips up and back. Beautiful. Inhale that right leg back behind you. Exhale, plant the foot between the hands. Windmill up to your warrior two. Front heel in line with back arch. I'm gonna switch sides, you stay where you are. Navel's into the spine, you're pressing your feet down towards one another, lifting that pelvic floor. Arms are reaching. Your gaze is at the front middle finger, and you're making sure this front knee isn't collapsing inward, right? You wanna see the big toe on the inside of that right knee. Flip the front palm. Reverse your warrior. Front hand reaches up and back. Connecting to that right side body. Feel the side body lengthening. Windmill the arms down to the earth. Frame the front foot. And then step up into a fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms sweep up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step or jump back, adding a vinyasa or skipping it. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. We're gonna take that simple flow to the other side. I'm gonna switch my sides. Left leg will sweep back behind you. As you exhale, you'll plant the foot between the hands. And then you'll come into your warrior two, spinning that back foot flat, reaching the arms in opposite directions, and breathing into this shape once again. Imagining externally rotating this upper thigh bone, dragging this knee away from collapsing in. Thinking about this coming flatter, maybe eventually parallel to the front, to the mat below you. Arms are reaching out, but you're not shrugging the shoulders up, right? Release them. Take a moment here. Feel the power of the pose. And then flip the front palm, reverse. Begin to connect to that left side body, feeling all of this lengthening occurring, keeping the bend in that front knee. Windmill the arms down to the earth, frame the front foot, take a moment here, and then step up into your forward fold. Breathe deep. From here, you can walk your feet to hips distance. You can interlace the fingers behind the head or grab opposite elbows, whatever feels intuitive for you. We're going to be here for 3 breaths, so just reconnecting here before we continue flowing. We're going to add those 2 flows together. So just begin to breathe deep. Begin to release your hands. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Arms sweep up overhead. Hands will touch. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Inhale, sweep open. Exhale, find your fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands. Step or jump back, adding a vinyasa here. Or just pressing into your downward facing dog. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Inhale deeply and let it go. We're going to be in this down dog for 2 more breaths. Maybe you need to take a quick child's pose, whatever is intuitive for you. And then from this down dog, lift the right leg back behind you. Knee to nose as you exhale. Inhale, lengthen back. Exhale, plant the foot between the hands. Inhale up into your crescent lunge, swinging the arms up overhead. Exhale, left hand will plant, right hand will reach up, simple twist. Top hand will come down to the earth, knee will come into the chest, and you'll send it out to the left. Left hand will reach up. Maybe you lift this foot off of the earth, that right foot. We'll all bring the top hand down to the earth. You'll bring the knee into the chest, and then you'll send it back, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open the hip. Bring the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Active lizard lunge. And then as you exhale, plant or begin to press into that front foot, dropping the head, connecting to that right hamstring. Inhale, rock forward. Drop that knee down. Inhale, sweep it back. Exhale, come back forward. And then sweep that foot back behind you. Three-legged dog, swinging it back. From here, we're coming straight into that warrior two, so plant the foot between the hands. Inhale, up, warrior two. Sink into this warrior two. Flip the front palm, reverse. We're adding on here. We're going to come into our half moon. So the right hand will sweep forward, forward, forward. And then you're either going to bring your hand to a block or to the earth, a foot in front of you on the mat, and then the left foot will reach up. Just like we did in our kneeling variation here, we're stacking this top hip in line with the bottom hip, and then you're pressing through the left heel. Toes are flexed towards the face. Shoulders are on top of one another. Take another deep inhale. And then as you exhale, gently press back into your warrior two. Flip the front palm, reverse. Windmill down. We have one more side here. Press back into your plank. You can add a vinyasa here, or we can meet in downward facing dog, chaturanga. Upward facing. And downward facing. We'll hold this down dog for 3 breaths here. I'm switching sides to help you see where I'm going. You stay where you are. 2 more breaths here in this downward facing dog. And then inhale, the left leg will reach back behind you. As you exhale, knee to nose, as you round forward. Inhale, send it back. Exhale, plant the foot between the hands. Inhale up into your crescent lunge. Arms reach up overhead. Press through that right heel. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Right hand will come down to the earth. Left hand will reach up. Simple twist. Take a moment here. And then the top hand will come to frame the foot. Knee into your chest. And then the foot goes over to the right as the right hand reaches up towards the sky. Staying here, maybe lifting this left foot off of the earth. Take a moment here. Top hand comes down. Knee into the chest. Send that foot up and back. 3-legged dog. Bend the knee, open the hip. Coming into that lizard lunge, the left foot comes to the outside of the left hand. And then we'll find that pyramid pose as we straighten the front leg and we round over, connecting to that left hamstring. Inhale, rock forward, heart presses forward. You'll drop that right knee onto the earth. Inhale, sweep that left arm back behind you. Sweep it back forward. And then you'll tuck the toe. The right toes, the hands are pressing into the earth. That left leg will sweep back behind you, 3-legged dog. From here, the left foot will plant between the hands, inhaling up into your warrior two. Keeping a bend into that front knee. You'll flip the front palm, you'll reverse. And now we're going into half moon. So front hand reaches forward, 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 till it finds the floor or a block, and then you'll hop that right foot up. Pressing into all 4 corners of the standing foot, keeping that foot in line with the hip, softening the standing toes, trying to stack your shoulders on top of one another, breathing deeply, and then slowly press back into your warrior two. Flip the front palm, reverse, and then windmill down, framing the front foot, pressing back into your plank, adding your last vinyasa here if you choose to take it, chaturanga. Dandasana, upward facing dog, and then downward facing dog. From here, you'll reach the right leg back behind you. You'll plant that right foot to the outside of the right hand, and then you'll bring that left knee down to the earth. Coming back to that shape, you swing that right arm back behind you. You can stay here, maybe you bend that left knee. You can stay here, and it's activating the hamstring muscles. Or you can begin to stretch the quad a little bit more by grabbing the outside of that right foot. Maybe you deepen this by bringing that left elbow down. You're welcome to come on the outer edge of the front foot, bringing it to a 2 o'clock, making sure the knee and the foot are going in the same direction here. And then you're pressing your heart towards that right knee if you're finding the spine. Breathing into this shape. In these quieter poses, can you stay connected? Maybe you even find a little bit of movement to explore in the body, shifting side to side a little bit. Anything that keeps you present in here. Counting the breath, reciting a mantra. If you have the bind, begin to release it. Coming back through center. We're going to go straight into our half pigeon, so just slide the foot over to the left side of the mat. Half pigeon is in your practice. You're welcome to get onto your back, making a figure 4 shape. Kind of what we started with. And then you'll extend that left leg back behind you. You'll lengthen the spine, and then you'll just begin to slowly walk the hands back down. The head can come to rest on the forearms or on a block. If you have a blanket or some kind of bolster, you can bring it underneath the hip. And then just begin to breathe here. And then again, come back to noticing what's happening. What's happening in your body, in your mental state, and in your breath. Are they all kind of synced up? Is your breath short and then you feel anxious? Or is the breath long? Do you feel calm? Just beginning to notice the subtleties within the body as we're here in stillness. How do you feel? Drop in. Take another deep inhale and a cleansing exhale. Slowly begin to walk your hands back. From here, you'll tuck the left toes. And then you'll press back into your 3-legged dog. Bend the knee, open the hip. Then you'll bring that leg down. And then we'll go straight into the other side. Lift the left leg up. Maybe quickly bend the knee, open the hip. Bring that left foot to the outside of the left hand. Bring that right knee down to the earth. Untucking the toes. Front knee over front ankle. And then you can find that sweeping motion, sweeping that hand forward, up and back. You can stay here. Maybe begin to bend that left knee, that right knee. And then maybe you grab that foot, and then you can pull it closer, connecting to that right quad. And maybe you even lower onto your elbow. Taking just a few moments here to breathe into the hip. You're welcome to come onto the outer edge of the left foot. Connecting to the sensation and to this moment. Slowly begin to release the bind if you have it. Coming back through center. And we'll find half pigeon on this side. So if it's not in your practice, you're welcome to get onto your back. Otherwise, you're sliding the foot over to the right. Making an L with the legs here. And then you'll extend that right leg back behind you, getting this hip flexor a little bit closer. Lengthen the spine, untuck the toes, and just begin to walk yourself down. Embracing the stillness of this pose and connecting to how you feel once again. If repeating thoughts begin to pop up, notice what they are and then begin to release them one by one. Maybe you imagine putting them in a bubble, and the bubble just begins to fly away. The thought pops up, you put it in the bubble, and it flies away. Trying not to dwell on any thoughts, but just notice them. And then very slowly begin to make your way out of this pose, walking your hands back underneath you, tucking your right toes, sending the hips up and back, maybe giving yourself a little circle. And we'll all bring the knees down to the earth. We'll sweep the legs out in front of us. We'll hug the knees into the chest. From here, we'll rock side to side, massaging our lower back. Finding a happy baby, extending the knees out to the side, rocking. I like to rock them forward and back and side to side, just kind of exploring the body a little bit. Connecting to your body before we find full stillness in our Shavasana. We'll bring the soles of the feet down to the earth. We'll bring that right ankle over the left knee. And then we'll do one of those one-legged bridges pose. So maybe you grab the outside edges of your mat or you press your hands into the earth, but everyone roll your shoulders underneath your back body and prop open the hips, lifting the hips up. We're just passing through here. You're welcome to bring a block underneath you. And then slowly begin to release down. Hug the knee into the chest. Give yourself a nice big hug. Skipping the crunches, aren't you glad? Rock side to side. And then drop this entire shape over to the left. Gaze over to the right. Feeling the decompression of the spine. And you feel it in the outer hip as well. Breathing here for just a moment. Much deserved rest here, right? Breathing in and out through the nose. Slowly begin to make your way back through center. You'll do the opposite cross with the legs, so left ankle over right thigh. We'll come into that one-legged bridge pose. Maybe you bring a block underneath your bum. Either way, you'll tuck your shoulders underneath your back body, prop your heart up towards your chin. So you lift the hips up. Not here for too long. Flex the left foot to keep that knee protected. And then slowly begin to release down, interlace the fingers behind that right thigh. Press that left thigh away and then drop this entire shape over to the right. Left sole of the foot comes down to the earth, arms come out to a T, gaze opposite of the hips. Connect to your breath. And then slowly begin to make your way back through center, undo the legs, rock side to side. Find another happy baby, or I really like to find this reclined butterfly pose where I bring my soles of the feet to touch, my knees out, and then I bring my heels into my inner thighs here, just kind of opening up my knees towards the front of the room, trying to relax my shoulders down. Just taking the next few moments here to get any final movements out of the way. Maybe you find a traditional happy baby. Maybe you find a little bit of core. Whatever feels intuitive, just give yourself the next 3 or 4 breaths here. Maybe just give circles to the hips to kind of just find whatever movement you need to do before you find that final pose, that Shavasana, right? And then we'll slowly begin to make your way into our Shavasana. We'll extend the legs out long. The hands will come down by our sides. You'll relax your shoulders underneath your back body. Maybe you bring props underneath the knees. I'm going to find constructive rest since I don't have my blocks next to me. So maybe you find this too. It has less pressure on the lower back. And then just begin to tune in. How do you feel? How did practice feel today? How is your breath right now? How are you feeling mentally and physically? What's going on? As these thoughts begin to fill your head, can you begin to acknowledge them? Your thoughts are always valid, but can you just now begin to let them go as you surrender into silence? into your sweet Shavasana. Surrendering into the undoing, letting go of thoughts, emotions, and just being here in this present moment, connected to your body and to your breath. Relaxing the head, the jaw, the shoulders. Feeling as the arms begin to soften and release down into the earth, so do the fingers. Can you feel as the rib cage begins to soften? The hips soften, the glutes. Your thighs begin to grow heavy. Your kneecaps. You feel as the shin bones and the calf muscles begin to all really melt down into the earth below. Your ankles grow heavy. Your feet, your toes. From the crown of your head to the tips of the toes, the entire body begins to relax down into the earth below you. Fully surrendering, fully releasing. Shavasana. You're welcome to stay here in Shavasana for as long as you'd like. Or maybe you begin to invite movements in the fingers and the toes. Maybe you bring your hand onto your heart and your belly and you begin to notice the gentle movement of the heart as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, maybe you begin to make your way onto your side body, coming into a little fetal position, giving yourself a nice big hug, bringing your temple onto your tricep, taking this time to thank yourself for making it to your practice today, for connecting to your breath and to the present moment. Maybe reconnecting to the intention you set in the beginning of class and thinking of one way you can invite it into your life more often. One inspired action that can bring this intention into fruition. Take a deep inhale. Then as you exhale, let go of what doesn't serve the intention. And then leave it on the mat behind you as you come up to seat it. Getting into a comfortable seat, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. The light in me bows down to the light in you. Namaste.